Hey everybody, so I hope you're having a really fantastic day. Today I am going to talk to all of you out there that are just starting the curly girl method and you want tips and advice on where to start, how to spend your money, especially if you're on a budget, and just how to avoid feeling overwhelmed with the amount of products suggested and routines and methods and tips suggested. So I want to tell you things that I think are really important and things that are kind of worth ignoring, and just kind of how to prioritize your time so you don't get overwhelmed. So the first thing I want to tell you is to follow people with similar hair to yours, because they will give you the best product advice and information, and you can avoid using products that are too heavy or too light for your hair type, or at least narrow it down. So if you have kinky curly hair, follow people with kinky curly hair. If you have looser curls that are a bit more ringlety, so like 2C, 3A, like my hair, look at my videos, see what products I use, see what products I suggest that work well. Also, other people similar to me are Curly Susie and Dana Marie. We all have similar porosity. Some of them can take a little bit more moisture than I can, but definitely worth looking. We're kind of all in the same kind of category. The second most important thing I could ever tell you is to not assume that your curls are going to look like anybody else's curls. You have your own unique curl pattern, and however much you want to make them look like someone else's, it's just not going to be that way. Just embrace your hair, focus on keeping your hair really super healthy, and your curls will really thank you. They'll get tighter, maybe, or they'll just stay the same. What you want is lovely shiny curls that look healthy and bouncy and full of life, and just embrace the fact that some bits are always just going to be straight. I have bits down here that just never do what I want them to, ever, and they're always like longer and straighter, and it doesn't make any sense, but I've learned to love it. It's okay and it's fine, and it still looks so lovely, and I still love it. The third thing I want to address is products. A lot of people ask me, what products do I need to start with? I would say stick with your current shampoo and conditioner, even if they've got sulfates and silicones in them for now. All I would do if you're really on a limited budget is add in a good gel, because a good gel is what you need to get your hair looking properly curly, staying curly, and being easier to manage. If you try and do curly girl method without a gel, you're going to really struggle with hair like mine anyway. Over time, definitely switch to sulfate and silicone free shampoo and conditioner, because that's really great for the long-term health of your hair. Fourth most important thing is to scrunch. You will have heard this from everybody, but scrunching in an upwards direction, in the shower, out the shower, when you're putting any kind of product in your hair, is the way you're going to get those curls tighter and lovelier and looking more beautiful. And the more I scrunch always, the better my curls look. And so scrunch, do a lot of scrunching. The next most important thing that I could recommend to you is to do weekly deep conditioning, especially if you're starting and you're coming from some damage, either from colouring or from lots of straightening or blow drying. Weekly deep conditioning is going to do absolute wonders for your curls. It's just going to fill them up with goodness, and it's just going to be amazing for your curls. I also really recommend rice protein treatments if you are trying to see how curly your hair can go, because that really will help your curl pattern get tighter. It's a bit like Olaplex, only a lot cheaper. I have a whole video about how I do deep conditioning, so go and check that out if you're interested in my favourite products to use. The last thing I would say is to maybe invest in a diffuser if you need a speedy exit out of the door in the morning, because curls can often take a long time to dry, and yeah, a diffuser really helps with that. I can get my hair dry in about half an hour with a diffuser. Without a diffuser, it takes about 3 or 4. So I have the luxury of sometimes being able to dry my hair naturally, which I think is great, but I also really love the look of my hair when I use a diffuser. I used a diffuser today, and today was wash day, and it looks pretty epically voluminous and curly, and I just love the look I get with the diffuser. Last thing, but you probably already know this, is to use a t-shirt for your drying of your hair. Never touch your hair with a towel. Microfiber towels are okay, but they're really expensive, so you don't need them. Just grab an old t-shirt and use that to dry your hair, to get excess product out. So now I want to talk about some things you probably don't need to worry about. Firstly, expensive products. There's a lot of curly girl products out there that cost like £15 a bottle and upwards. It's a lot of money to pay, and you don't need them. There are a lot of cheaper products out there. I have a full list of all the products I've ever tried on a very long blog post, and they're like ordered in terms of my favourite to my least favourite, and hopefully that will be helpful for you guys to look at and just see which things I think are worth spending money on and which you just really don't need to spend any money on. The next thing you probably don't need to worry too much about is plopping. I like to pull up my hair sometimes. It's a great way to keep your hair out of your face if you want to do your makeup, but it's absolutely not necessary. Sometimes I kind of think it also messes with my curl pattern. So take it or leave it, it's not necessary. Denman brush, I love a Denman brush. I love the ringlets I get from a Denman brush, but I didn't use one for a whole year and I still love my curls. It's just not necessary, but it's kind of fun if you want to experiment a little bit with your curls. Olaplex, not necessary. I tried Olaplex number 3 and I think honestly, if you've had coloured hair, I think it's great for you and I think that's probably who it's made for. But if you just come from straightening or just like lots of blow drying or something like that, then you know, you don't need it. It's very expensive. You can probably just do a rice water protein treatment and that is either arguably as good or much better. Fancy diffusers, you don't need those, just get a regular one. The next thing I want to address is all the different methods out there. There's so many different kinds of methods and obviously I'm recommending certain ways and routines of how you wash your hair and how you style your hair. But just don't get overwhelmed with it. If you find one that you like, just keep going with that one. Don't feel the need to try out all the different methods. That's only for us crazy YouTubers who would like to try that out to tell you if they're any good or not. Diva cuts, not an essential, but fantastic if you want to dive straight on in to the curly girl method, because you'll get an absolute rundown of how to style your hair. Obviously you get the fantastic cut. It is very, very expensive though. I have never had a diva cut. I have had a fantastic cut at a local salon. I did a whole video about my haircut and it was like 30 quid. It's such a good price. Finger coiling, not necessary. Kind of nice for a particular look, but it's not necessary. Fancy product combinations, you don't need to get like too weighed down with, will this product go with this product? Try it out, see how it goes, but really just don't get hung up on whether your leave-in will go with that gel, because I have crisscrossed everything and they pretty much all go together. The last thing you don't need is to do anything fancy with your hair overnight. That's something people worry about all the time. I just have a pack of Invisibobbles. I use one every night, just put my hair up in a pineapple, and that honestly is the cheapest, easiest way to put your hair up. I kind of like the buff as well, and I'm trying out a couple of other options at the minute, but for sure all you need really is an Invisibobble. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I've had so many requests to do a video like this, so I hope that kind of broke it down and helped you guys out from feeling too overwhelmed by everything. I hope you have a really brilliant rest of your day and thank you so much for joining me.